distinguished Professor Niharika Vora, Vice Chancellor, Delhi Skill Entrepreneurship University. Our special guest for the day, dynamic Dr. O.P. Shukla, dedicated Board of Directors of Anveshan Foundation, very dynamic Dr. Arora, who is CEO of Anveshan Foundation, perhaps is the third CEO meet which he has organized in collaboration with GIZ Germany, and our illustrious and visionary chief executive officers who are joining the CEO meet on Delhi Startup Mission, which is on core competencies, opportunities and challenges in Delhi. My very dear participants, startups, I'm truly elated to be a part of this inaugural session of the CEO Meet 3 with immense support from the government. Today, there are approximately 500 incubation centers active in India. Now, to get best outcome, apart from many factors, I believe synergy among incubation centers is very, very crucial. Such kind of brainstorming events, which we are witnessing today, are not only going to boost the ecosystem, but also through networking, we converge to the best possible practices through learning and doing. As we all know, India is the economy which is the fastest growing startup ecosystem economy. In the recent years, in the funding, consolidation activities, evolving technology, and a big domestic market. The numbers are depicting from approximately 3,000 startups in 2014, which has grown to more than 50,000 startups in India today. Around 10,000 of these are technology-led startups. It's just a revolution. And in India, it will change the way the markets are working today. Even Dr. Arora mentioned about two cities which have come in the startup category, that is Bangalore and Delhi. Looking at startups from India, a lot of startups in India have entered in the industry, either unearthing an entirely new market or through the gaps in the existing market or product lines. There are various successful startups that are growing rapidly and changing how an existing industry looks in the process. The asset platform spans across various categories. If we look at transport aggregators like rented cab aggregators, Ola, Uber, if we look at rickshaw aggregators like Jugnu, Tuk-Tuk, if we look at carpooling, so Orahi, Rizal, Redingo, rented accommodation, Oyo, Stayzilla, all asset classified portals, OLX, Quicker, food and beverages aggregator, Food Panda, Swiggy, a similar disruption is taking place in the service sector as well, where platforms which are very, very becoming common like Helper, Housejoy, Handy Home, Mr. Right, Urban Clap, they have made their delivery to the domestic help or household services possible at the doorstep of the users. This listing is not only exhaustive, but it also serves as an appetizer for dwelling deep into the world of Indian startup ecosystem, which is the third largest after China and US. Vocal for local, our Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji, who talks about vocal for local, is to create more local brands and take those to the global arena, that is the homegrown companies. He also urged the people to come forward in creating a self-reliant, that is Atmanirbhar nation by supporting local businesses. Rise of Swadeshi movement in India, while vocal for local has become the most trending phrase in the last few months. The idea behind the concept is not only to increase domestic consumption, but also intensify the export activities and rely less on imported products. And it is only possible with a focus on technology-based companies, homegrown companies that can be scaled up faster. Technology-based manufacturing companies can create China-like startup ecosystem and to make the country a hub of global supply chain. Women entrepreneurship, a subject matter which is very close to my heart, and I'm glad Dr. Niharika Vora really articulated some of the key factors, very, very truly said, inherent biases
or I may say invisible biases, and no recognition, or I may say a very delayed recognition, some of the things which women entrepreneurs across nation they really have to go through. But very clearly articulated by her also, it's all about failure. I believe none of the entrepreneurs can succeed unless and until they have tasted the failure. So success is all about going from failure to failure unless and until you reach your goal. Or let me put it, fail can stand for first attempt to learn. Normally, we have seen after one failure or two, most of the startups they decide to close down. But then it's all about
rising from failure again and again till the time you achieve your success. And for women entrepreneurs,
definitely in the world population and in India, gender wise, there is almost 50-50 split
in population. But if we compare the ratio of men and women entrepreneurs, we find that women entrepreneurs are very less in comparison. In many countries, women entrepreneurs are transforming economies. For example, if we look at Switzerland and Uganda, the startup rate by gender is almost equal. They are innovators, they are job creators. In Europe, even though there are more women than men, but female entrepreneurs represent only one-third of the self-employed. In India, women entrepreneurs stood approximately 14%, up from 10% and 11% in the previous 2 years. Definitely, there is a rise, but we need to take a lot more initiatives to ensure that it further scales up. Still, creativity, entrepreneurial potential of women are underexploited, but they are the vital sources for economic growth. I personally feel 50% if it is left behind, then economy cannot grow. We can't neglect the fact that with an increase in women entrepreneurs, number of entrepreneurs in totality will increase, which will give boost to the business sector. COVID-19. The unprecedented scenario after COVID is one of the most painful experiences for both startups and incubators. It was a unique type of example in the VUCA environment for which many of the business ventures operating from a developing country like ours were not even prepared. Thankfully, the GDP of India, which was earlier expected to decline by 10.3% by the IMF, is now predicted to decline by about just 8%. Now, IMF is also predicting a growth rate of 11.5%, highest in the world, in the next financial year. All these hopes from India are primarily due to the expectation of the world in which contribution of new business ventures is playing an important and a crucial role. There are opportunities for startups that introduce or upskill radical innovations that can be useful in a short run. Today, that could mean innovations in telemedicine, remote personal care, medical equipment, home delivery, food processing, teleworking, and a massive exploration in online education. Understanding these challenges and opportunities, we in Delhi startup ecosystem have really a great pool of qualified leaders in the position of CEOs, heads, and directors of all our incubation centers, which Dr. Arora also just mentioned in 2016. And after that also, Delhi government has taken initiatives to start various innovation centers. I'm happy to share even now, IGDTUW is also taking various steps, and one of the important steps which we have just recently launched is reaching the unreached. By doing the surveys of the women for whose children are studying in IGDTUW, finding it out, and we're reaching to them and many more to see they are well qualified, and but they are simply homemakers, and where they have a potential to contribute directly or indirectly towards the national growth. And very soon we will be providing them skills, entrepreneurial opportunities through a unique social outreach program. We have caliber, we have resources, and what we need is just a little push. We can all emerge like unicorns. I'm sure through this platform, I invite all the budding entrepreneurs to join the initiative of ours from any of the incubation center, that's immaterial, This nation needs you all to find a solution to poverty, employment, and a better lifestyle. And finally, I extend my best wishes for the success of the event. I'm confident that insightful discussions and deliberations, which will happen through this COME 3, will definitely pave the way for boosting the ecosystem of startups in Delhi. Thank you very much.